Returning to the stage. Colin,
Yes.
thank you for
Comedian and writer. I like that.
Yeah, me too. I was
I guess my people said throw in writer, so people think he's like, oh, you know.
Oh my God, this is exciting. You on the stage. You're the new Funny Girl. You're replacing Leah Michelle in Funny Girl on. Is that what we're talking about? This is small talk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are you good? Do you like small talk?
I love small talk. I'm great at my whole life. I talk to everybody. I feel like you're kind of like that too, like a friendly type person.
Yeah.
Like I go in the store, you have a little conversation, you know what I mean? Shouldn't have. A little much on the holidays, I ate too much, and then you have a little, little bonding moment.
Yeah, you do those things. You throw little bonding moments.
I feel like you do that too with people.
I do a little bit.
Yeah.
You
don't say it's not defensive, it's a positive quality.
Defensive? I'm just saying.
Did you hear his voice when he goes, I do?
No, I would.
Your voice went up like, hey,
You know what I keep thinking of? Do you remember back when we were on Saturday Night Live? You were always very nice to me, by the way. I consider you the whole reason I have the show is you. But anyways, no, you know what I was thinking of? Do you remember when
I almost believe it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But it was when we would go get tea at like 2 in the morning.
Yes, exactly.
Go to this deli, this bodega.
Yeah, the bodega, and that guy was an Olympic judo champion, according to him. I'm sure he could just say it.
How do you know all this about this guy?
From small talk.
Small talk. But I remember we were going and somebody yelled, because walking with Colin Quinn in New York City, he's like the mayor. He was like, Colin Quinn, going back to Brooklyn now.
It's like a bad commercial. Like, hey, pal.
No, I remember the guy goes like, yo, Colin, come here. And you go, you come here.
Yeah, because that was like a power move. The guy's like, hey, Colin.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything that couldn't be. He's like calling me over.
And you go,
why are you taking his side? You don't even know the guy. Well, it's like, you sound like a real...
No, it made me laugh.
Call me over. You don't call me over.
You go, no, you come over here. Yeah, what are you doing?
But here's the thing about small talk. It's it's about being friendly, and it's so funny to me because one of the criticisms you always hear is, oh, Jimmy's so enthusiastic, so friendly with his guests.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, what are you supposed to... You were supposed to bring him out, hey, I heard your new movie. Yeah, sounds like it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't do that.
No, you can't. That'd be nice.
No, exactly, yeah. You got to say, without movies and TV, I wouldn't have a show.
Exactly.
I want them all to work.
People think sullen is so hip. Well, guess what? I don't buy it. Musician's different. You're allowed to be sullen. Different vibe.
Oh, my God.
But I'm talking about in comedy.
I'm talking about this guy. I'm talking about small talk, but then I'm also talking about this guy. Dude, what? What in the world? Who is this?
Oh, give me a break. Give me a break.
Who is this? What porno is this from?
I was hungover.
A calendar or something?
Yeah.
You're very good-looking guy. You're very good-looking guy.
I really was. That was a great picture. The guy was just a hungover friend of mine. He had a camera, and he took a picture. Because they needed pictures in those days. You go out and you hand around your pictures.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, forget auditions and stuff like that?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Any big movies that you ever auditioned for you didn't get?
Well, Tom Cruise Cocktail, which you see that picture. I don't know how I couldn't get it, but I auditioned for Cocktail, but I was a bartender, so I was like, I'm going to do a little stage business, you know what I mean? So I show up at the audition. I met Tom Cruise. I was kind of, it was still starstruck a little bit. You know, Tom Cruise, I didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So I started doing the thing where I'm the other bartender. If you saw the movie, nobody did. It was a horrible movie, but...
It was a good movie.
It was what do you mean a good movie? It's the worst movie of all time.
What are you talking about?
People are right about you. You're too enthusiastic.
I can't say that to me. I like that. No. Hippie shake?
Oh, the worst. So, but I auditioned for the bartender. I didn't know, the fix is in and all these things. Like idiots should show up at the audition, but I show up and...
Fix is in.
The fix is in. And I start doing like pantomime bartending. I used to be a bartender.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm like this. Next
Tom Cruise is there?
Yeah. I sucked the energy out of the room so bad. Because I was a terrible actor, and I was also doing like mime, like pretending to bartend. And I was making drinks from just straining them.
Get out of here, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You were straining the drinks?
You could just see that they couldn't wait for it to end. It was just so horrible.
That's so funny.
I did what nobody can do. I wiped the smile off Tom Cruise's face. Because he came
He
in
was
and
like,
he's like,
this is not funny.
yeah,
I'm
he's like,
wasting my time.
he was smiling,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
charming guy, you know.
Yeah.
By the time I left, he's like, okay, thanks, man. Somebody calls you man at an audition, it's usually they don't like you.
Yeah, yeah. What was the? Well, you were almost in a movie with Mike Myers. Offered you a role.
Well, that was the famous one, yeah. But I was supposed to be in Austin Powers, and but he called me up and literally said, "You got the part," and I go, "No, Mike, I don't want the part for no reason." I was gonna be Scott Evil, the son, because he saw me on Larry Sanders, and he's like, "Do what you did with Rip Torn, be the son, Scott Evil." I would run all three of them.
You don't want to
and
be
I
in
could have
that.
got my.
You wouldn't
You're
have
right.
wanted to do that.
Exactly.
Look at what you're doing
Why
now.
be on
This
a
is
franchise?
now.
Of movies.
You gotta be. Then everyone's yelling Scott Evil when you're crossing the street.
Yeah.
No, now they're like Colin Quinn. What's up, small
Scott Evil,
talk?
Scott Evil, come over here. You
Yeah,
come here.
No, you come here, buddy. Yeah, exactly. I think you made the right move
Oh, thanks.
because I think this man would be proud of what you're doing. Colin Quinn. Small Talk premieres. The previews start tomorrow at Lucille Lortel Theater here in New York City. The one and only. We'll be right back with a performance from Madison Cunningham. Stick around, everybody.